guess first ask him how happy is he with his win? He made his debut out there. Did it play out like he thought the experience would be?
Primeiro, fiquei muito feliz de estar aqui, de fazer uma estreia no MGM.
First, it is a pleasure to have a chance to make his debut in Vegas at the MGM.
E eu trilhei minha vida inteira, desde criança que eu decidi ser um lutador, eu queria estar aqui. E não tinha lugar melhor de estrear no UFC do que no MGM. E fiquei bastante feliz com a minha performance. Eu tive algumas complicações durante a luta, que logo mais vocês vão estar perguntando, não vou estar falando, mas estou muito feliz, estou realizando um sonho de criança.
So, you know, he wanted to be a fighter since he was a little kid, and he got the opportunity to be with the UFC and to make the debut here, so he's just ecstatic. You know, he had some problems during the fight, but hopefully everything's going to be okay, and overall it was a good experience.
Now he's had some experience with him. They were both on the Tough Show together. Did that help benefit for him? And was he maybe able to understand a little bit about what his opponent was going to bring, and did it help him in this fight?
A experiência no TUF ajudou bastante, em traçar minha estratégia, conhecer meu adversário, saber os costumes, saber como é que ele se porta antes das lutas.
So it was a great experience for him because they lived together. So he was able to figure out, what is his opponent's behaviors before the fight and what he did, what he didn't do. So overall, it was an interesting way to know more about his opponent.
Com essa passagem pelo TUF e ter presente, ver os treinos dele, acompanhar ele, foi muito fácil para a gente traçar uma estratégia em cima do jogo dele. Que minha equipe e o meu treinador, o André Dida, traçou uma estratégia que foi perfeita para ele não entrar em queda.
Yeah, and the thing is, he was able to watch his opponent training and everything, so that's an insight that you normally wouldn't have, and that helped his coach André Dida to put on a good game plan and make sure that he wasn't going to be taken down in the fight, and that was the main thing that he was focusing on.
That was the main game plan, was just to keep the fight standing, not make it onto the ground, or what was the game plan?
A principal para a luta era manter a luta de pé, então.
Era isso, a estratégia que a gente traçou foi manter a luta em pé, defender as quedas dele, machucar ele o máximo possível, fazer ele andar para trás, que é o que ele não gosta. Ele gosta de abafar e entrar em queda. Aí a gente traçou a estratégia de andar para frente e fazer nossa que a gente faz melhor, que é o striker.
So the whole thing was about keeping it standing and not letting him grow in the fight. He know that if he kept pressure on him, he was not going to find himself. So it worked. Okay, thank you.
Leather got in my eye, so it was kind of bothering it. And then second round, when I was on top of him and landing those big shots, he threw a kick up, and I thought it was his heel, but on looking at the replay, it was the side of his foot that went in my eye. And it's just my eye. It's not my eye like this, like swelling or anything. It's just like the inside of my eye. And then I couldn't see out of it. And then the doctor looked at it. I just couldn't. I mean, I said I could continue to fight, but I just couldn't see out of it. And he just said, look at me with that eye. And then, he stopped the fight. I mean, if it would have been the third round and I would have got up and I couldn't see out of that eye, I would have got knocked out by a fighter that shouldn't have knocked me out, So it sucks if I had to go that way. I wish it didn't, especially when I felt really, really good. Wasn't tired. I was obviously, dominating the fight. It's just, I don't know. I felt guy's a tough guy. I mean, I hit him with some real big shots, and he still was in there. So, hats off to him. It just sucks fights at him like that.
How does it feel now?
Still can't see it. Yeah, I mean, I got surgery like 2 years ago on this eye, and not my. He headbutted me on top of the eye. It wasn't a cut or anything. It's like someone you get your eyelid scratched, But like the first one was like they just touched inside my eye, and then like that. It's two southpaws fighting, so it's our lead eye right there. And he was like doing the Ali flick jabs, It wasn't like popping them, and it just, like that's I even told Jason Herzog about that, because his hands are open too, and he kept hitting me in the eye with his fingers in the ground. But and I mean it's no fault to him. He's a good guy. It sucks head in like that. But again, he's a tough guy. I mean, I've hit a lot of when I hit him that left hand, I'm like, it fucking lights out, and boom, he woke up, hit the ground, and I hit him with a bunch more shots. And he kept it up. But, I felt real good. I felt really confident. It just really makes me sad that, I had to win. I get a win like that,
Sorry, just one more. Can you explain what happened yesterday with the weight cut? There were some reports that you collapsed. You last fought at 170, so it was a bit surprising to see you, have trouble. What exactly happened? And is it true that you were in that kind of condition?
Yeah, well, a week and a half ago, I was 198. I was shredded in good shape. Then I got really, really sick, where I didn't eat or drink for 2 days, or actually 3 days. And then like when people don't know yet, when you lose weight, you have to eat to lose weight. So I didn't eat or drink, and I wasn't peeing, wasn't doing any of that. So my body got flabby and all this shit. And then I went up from 198 to 212 when I got back on Monday, and Tuesday when I got here I was 212. And then so I cut that weight, and then the water I did drink, my body didn't want to let go of it, just wanted to hold on to it because it was so dehydrated from before. But I mean, that was the hardest weight cut even at 170, because it killed me. I mean, it was bad. And then when I got off the scale, I didn't pass out, but I was just real lethargic. My face got pale, and they had to give me IVs and shit like that. It didn't affect me today though. I felt real good.
Can you talk about the decision? When the decision came out, did you know they did it by DQ, or were you confused with what was going to happen?
I know it was going to happen. I mean, the strike that ultimately hurt my eye the most was illegal kick in the ground. I didn't know though. I didn't know. I had no idea. I didn't know if it was going to be. I lost because injury. I mean, that's the last thing I want to do. I didn't know. It's not like they said, hey, if you stop right now, you're going to win by DQ. It wasn't like that at all. I just, I got a family. I don't want to go get knocked out because I have one eye. I mean, and again, it wasn't my call. It wasn't like something like, yes, take me out of there, please. But my eye was fucked in the first round. I was pawing at it, couldn't see at it, and that's when he started getting off, landing some big shots. But yeah, I had no idea, man.
Hats off to my opponent.
Atleta bastante duro.
A very hard opponent
Coração imenso.
with a big heart.
And what's next?
E o que vem agora?
O que vem agora é descansar uma semana e manter meus treinamentos para voltar mais forte.
Get some rest for a week. Keep on training to come back even stronger.
In a lot of ways, that fight went the way Clay likes fights to go. What was the key to just holding on for you?
Qual foi muitas vezes as lutas vão para um lado, vão para o outro, não vão como a gente quer. Qual foi a chave para você se manter, para segurar a luta para você?
Meu principal objetivo na luta foi coração.
My main goal in the fight was the heart.
What's the next game plan for you? I mean, everybody's talking about, like I said, there's so many title fights.
Yeah.
And what's next for you?
I'm hoping Cruz. I'm waiting for him to get healthy, and that's the fight I want. I mean, obviously nothing's been announced, but I think he's the one that's going to build my name the biggest, and I think it makes sense.
When you say you're waiting, how long, will you wait for that fight before you think it's time to get back in there?
I won't wait forever, that's for sure. I mean, who knows if he's even going to be able to get healthy? I mean, the guy's always hurt, it seems.
Much for you to do.
I'm always in the gym, man. I'm staying active. I've been more busy lately than I've ever been in my career, so it's been good. A lot of media obligations, and I'm doing some seminars and staying as active as possible, and I don't mind it.
Has it been a tough adjustment for you? Because before, when you don't have a belt, not as much is expected of you. Now do you feel the weight of the crown?
Definitely how busy I am. It weighs you down a little bit, but you gotta have fun with it. I mean, that was the goal, was to be where I'm at now. And now that I'm here, I gotta soak it up.
When you see a guy like DJ, and there's not, always an obvious opponent for him, does it worry about you? Does that worry you at all? Because you just did say that, there's not anyone right now who's waiting in the wings for a title shot.
Not really, man, because there always will be. I mean, I haven't fought all the guys in my weight class. He's got a very, very small weight class. So there's definitely going to be guys that are going to be ready to fight. Just right now at this time, I think the two guys that actually make sense are injured. So I feel like this will be the only time I'm really going to have to wait like this. And, it's only been a month since my fight, so I really haven't had to wait really yet. But we'll see how long I'm going to have to wait.
Fabian was saying that you were down to the top house,
Yeah.
And you and McGregor were having a little bit of...
Yeah.
How was that?
I don't think there's a fighter that McGregor doesn't have beef with these days. It was cool. I mean, he's a smart guy. He's fun. He knows how to market himself. He's trying to get under Uriah's skin by saying that I'm a traitor and I'm his enemy. I think it's the only thing he had against Uriah, and so he harped on it a lot. But he's kind of got to laugh that guy off a little bit. He's all talk. I think he's more interested in how much money he's making now than actually getting better in the sport.
So are you the stake in the grass, TJ?
No, not at all, man. Absolutely not.
How do you think that fight's gonna go, like between McGregor and Aldo?
Oh, I see Aldo winning the fight. I think he's got, McGregor's real confident, but I think he's got his hands full when it comes to the fight. Aldo's pound-for-pound best in the world, and he's definitely shown it time and again.
What do you think about when he's talking about how his numbers are better than all y'all numbers when it comes to the money side, the business side of things? Does that bother you when he's calling y'all out saying, "Oh, your numbers are beauty compared to mine"? And all
well, I mean, it's hard to argue. I mean, he had more guys at Wayne's than I think I did in my fight in Sacramento. You know, that was crazy. But like I said, though, he's a little bit too worried about how much money he's making and not actually getting better in the sport, I feel. And you know, that's a little annoying when it comes to it. You know, I mean, especially from a fan of the sport. You know, I'm more into the guys that are, you know, humble and wanting to be a professional in this sport, and he's just all worried about the money.
Would you move up to shut him up?
Oh, I would love that fight. That would be amazing. That would be something I would love to do.
You also were talking about fighting Aldo for quite some time in the past. Is something that you still want to do?
I mean, obviously, I would love these fights. It's all about, you know, all about the timing and if it can happen, and if the UFC lets it happen, you know, because I would love any of those. I mean, I want to be pound-for-pound best in the world, and he's on top of that list.
You seem like you have a sense of humor about the McGregor stuff a little bit.
Yeah.
But looking, you know, I'm not a body language reader here, but some of the other fighters on stage yesterday looked, you know, kind of sick of it. Do you get a sense that that it's changing a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I saw Cerrone, I think, before he went and did the event. He's pretty pissed off about it, and there's definitely some guys that he's getting under their skin a lot, you know. I laugh the guy off, you know. I try to stay as professional as possible. I'm not going to get into that game of talking trash with him, and if you're going to argue with him, it's almost like a grade school argument. It's whoever talks louder and the longest is going to win that one, you know. He doesn't let anybody ever talk, and yeah, it's just not my style.
What you learn from him with him in the Ultimate Fighter house?
Not much, man. He was hardly there. He didn't really even show up. He was just there for the weigh-ins and fights. It seemed like, you know, he wasn't there for his team at all. I learned that he's like I said, smart about marketing himself. You know, He's doing good at that, and he's, like he says, got those numbers.
Do you want to coach a future season?
I would love to, yeah.
Have you already expressed that to the?
I told him, and then the producer of the show too, as well. Is like, when are we going to get you on here? And I told him I'd already been wanting to do it, and I think it'd be a lot of fun. I think I'd be good at it. I think I'd be a good coach for the season.
Would that be opposite Cruz, I imagine, or is there another name? Like a lot of fans want to see you against Frankie Edgar.
Yeah, that's a fighting a legend. You know, that'd be amazing. You know, I'm hoping Cruz gets back sooner than that, sooner than us being able to coach the season. That'd be a long layoff for me, so I'm hoping he gets back sooner than that.
Would that be surreal for you?
All right. Rocky, talk about the victory. I mean, you had sung in the rear naked choke. Did this fight go how you expected it to?
You know, it didn't exactly go exactly how I expected to. I mean, it's a fight. You can't really say how it's going to go. I thought that it would end a lot more with my hands. The weight cut was pretty draining for me yesterday, though, so that played a big part tonight. But, I mean, it's MMA. I train all around. So just as my last fight with Ashley Evans-Smith, I mean, there was another submission.
You talk about the weight cut being the drain on you. Did that create a sense of urgency, knowing that your conditioning might not have been there for 3 rounds?
You know, when it comes to that part, I mean, your body's going to get drained. This is a crazy physical sport, but it's where it comes from in here. It takes a lot of heart in the sport and everything, and I think that's what played a big part for me tonight. You know, I mean, I went to desperate measures yesterday. I chopped off some of my hair for weight. I did all kinds of stuff. It's just I put on too much muscle when it came to since my fight with Holly Holm, and tonight it was just, I mean, digging deep.
She had you in a couple of guillotine attempts there. Were any of them tight at all?
None were too tight. I mean, I train a lot with the guys, and they try to crank my head off. So, I mean, going against a female strength, it was a lot. I could breathe a little bit better, so I wasn't in no danger, really. I felt like it was more chance, as much as crazy as it may sound, I'm going to choke, but it was a rest period for me for a second.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Is it true that was a pretty creepy happy birthday? Is it true that you told Sean Shelby that you wanted to fight on this card because it's your birthday? That it was chances you might have to, get pushed because of the change in opponent. Why did you really want to fight on your birthday?
You know, there was a lot of reasons. For one, I mean, when is it that a UFC card lands on your birthday? So that was a huge reason for me. Also, this was actually the first opportunity that my dad got to come watch me. I've played in hundreds of sports, lots of competition, and he has never seen me. So he was actually making his way up here. He already bought his ticket for that, so I was really pushing to stay on the card. And then on top of that, I mean, it's been 6 months. I wanted to get back in the cage, and it was also like a really special moment for me. I had a friend that just passed away, so a bunch of memorial stuff was happening for him, and tonight was definitely dedicated to him.
So did your dad make it to the fight?
He did. He's out in the stands.
And how come this is the first time in all your years of competing that he's ever watched you compete?
You know, I mean, I think there was just a lot to it. He wasn't he wasn't really raised too much family oriented, and then just having the kids, he leaned a little more towards my brother. But in his older age, I think he's starting to realize a lot more, and so he kind of just changed his ways, and at the end of the day, he's still my dad, and when he made the change and decided to come up here, I mean, it really put a drive for me.
Knowing that he was here, were you more nervous, more emotional going into the fight? Were you thinking about him in there?
Tonight was just emotional in general. I try not to focus on what's going on outside of the cage once it's time for me to step foot in there. But, I mean, things do happen. And like I said, I think the only thing that really popped into my mind was having to find that heart, having to find that drive just because of the way that the weight cut took a toll on me.
How much did you have to cut from your hair?
I cut about 2.5 inches off. It was desperate measures, and I was stuck at 137.8. We were trying for 3 hours for those last, pound, 0.8 ounces. So I got in the shower, and I was supposed to be down ready for the bus, and I just went on to find some scissors and chop it off.
Wow. And how much did that weigh? Do you have any idea?
Weighed a pound. So then I had to work for a 0.8.
I just had another question, if you don't mind. What happened to your friend who passed away?
He passed away in his sleep.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just natural causes?
Yeah, it was something to do with his heart, and so he was really young. He was only 34, and I met him the very first time that I faced off with Jessica, and we just became really good friends. We'd go to all the UFCs together, just kind of meet up in Vegas, and just had a lot of fun. And then one day, it was really crazy because 2 days prior, we were talking about our birthdays. His birthday was a week ago, so we were like, we're going to come out to this card, and we're going to have fun. I didn't think I'd get on the card, so we just kind of planned it as a birthday weekend, and 2 days after that, I got a phone call that he passed away in his sleep.
So then, with all that, all the emotion, how satisfying is this victory? Is this the most important victory of your career?
It's very important to me for all the reasons that I definitely just listed. But just in general, I mean, I feel like a lot of the fights that I've already been in, especially the ones that have gone to decision, one thing that I really proved tonight was the fact that no more judges. I don't see any more judges in my future bouts, and it was the start of my revenge tour. Jessica was the first person, and I look forward to facing the rest. So, I mean, to get an awesome victory like tonight, especially against one of the girls that was in that revenge tour, I mean, it's very satisfying.
So that revenge tours mean Holly Holm's next on that list?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've faced Holly Holm, I've faced Kat Zingano, I've faced Leslie Smith. All those girls that I have lost to, either at decision. Kat, she was the first girl to ever submit me. So that's kind of my way to turn around my career. I mean, I have a record that's 6-6 now, and I think a lot of those losses, I beat myself before I even walked into that cage. So I definitely want to show the fighter that I really am, and I plan to turn it around.
How big a deal is to move up the rankings?
It's exciting. It's something that I don't really pay a whole lot of attention to. I mean, I feel like there's things inside myself as an athlete and as a fighter that I have to prove to myself, and the rankings I think are just, I kind of see it as politics in that area. I'm the one that kind of ranks myself and where I'm going to be. So, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's still exciting to move up.
And switching gears, how do you think Holly's going to stack up with Ronda and that big card with you being in the cage with her? Uh-oh.
I mean, I wish both fighters the best of luck. I don't think it's right that Holly just walked right into the UFC and hasn't really faced a whole lot of talent here on the UFC level. And then she right away jumped to the title shot. But like I said, politics, so everybody's getting what they want.
The fact that you dropped her, do you think Ronda could drop her? Was you being familiar with her from the show and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fight. Anything can happen. And I think Ronda's a very talented fighter, and I think she's going to bring it to Holly.
Raquel, a lot of people are going to call us an upset. It's a gambling town. We talk odds all the time. Were you aware that you were a 2.5-to-1 underdog, and did that motivate you? Or?
I don't really pay attention to any of that. I mean, at the end of the day, we're fighters. We come in here. This is our job. I just have a passion for the sport, and this is what I come to do. I don't really care when it comes to the bets and how people really view me as a fighter. I know what talent I bring to the table, and like I said, I mean, this was the beginning of the revenge tour to turn things around, and I think those bets will surely change.
Alex Chambers told us that she looked up to you, watched your career, and when she met you for the first time a couple days ago, she was starstruck. She didn't know what to say.
Monterrey es otro monstruo también, como lo decías, una de las ciudades más importantes de México. ¿Cuál es el impacto que crees que va a tener un Fight Night con Goyito Pérez contigo?
No, pues claro, o sea, imagínate ahorita el deporte del boxeo ahorita el deporte de las artes mixtas, el MMA ahorita está creciendo. Y ahorita, y lo odio decir esto, lo que les voy a decir ahorita, pero parece que el boxeo está bajando un poquito y el deporte de la UFC está creciendo. So, es el segundo evento en México y yo sé que se va a vender, o el tercero.
Tercero.
El tercero. Pero la segunda ciudad en México. So, para mí ser uno de los primeros que va a llegar a México para pelear es un honor para mí. Porque yo sé que igual, voy a ser como uno de los, como César Chávez, de los Salvador Sánchez, que muchos boxeadores admiraron cuando eran chiquitos. Yo sé que ya cuando sea grande y peludo y con pelos grises, me van a admirar a mí.
¿Qué opinas de tu amigo de Goyito Pérez después de las lesiones? ¿Cómo lo ves participando ahí en Monterrey?
Así que no lo miro, ya sé que el Goyito es una persona muy suave, o sea, verdad que se ha lastimado mucho y creo que va a ganar, creo que porque es algo peleando por un propósito y es algo también peleando con inspiración y creo que eso es lo que va a hacer Goyito el 29 de noviembre.
Henry, pelear en México no es fácil, ya que como lo dices, el deporte del boxeo...
No es eso, pelear en México es en la Ciudad de México es la altura.
Sí, me refiero, el fanático mexicano está muy dado al boxeo. Tú vienes con un pasado de lucha. ¿Cómo te gustaría cambiar esa imagen de Henry Cejudo como peleador?
No, pues todo eso va a cambiar, no solamente yo, pero los diferentes computadores que están en la UFC. Porque a los mexicanos les encantan los golpes, les encanta la lucha libre que es de mentiras, pero se tiran. Y eso es lo que es en la jaula, o sea, se pegan, no jab y derecha. Los muchachos se miraron ahorita, o sea, se tiraron con todo y alguien noqueó, alguien rindió. So, para mí yo veo como una pelea de los aztecas que cuando peleaban hasta la muerte. Y eso es lo que es. Lo bueno es que nadie ha morido.
Henry, there was a few flyweights names that got thrown around, but there was something about you had a glow on your face when you were talking about Benavidez. Is that more of like a personal fight, or was there something about that match you wanted? Or
I wanted Benavidez because let's bring it to Mexico. That was my whole thing. Benavidez, his last name. Maybe you don't speak Spanish, but man, like we both come from the same heritage. Like, let's get that to the fans, And plus, I was renegotiating my contract for like a whole month. So it took a whole thing, so I couldn't say anything, and that was it. But Benavidez he'll get a shot. And I'm excited. I'm a competitor, man. I don't dodge anybody. When I was a high school wrestler, I won the U.S. Open, the toughest tournament in the men's division. I've always competed as much as I can, and became the youngest in history to ever win a gold medal because I love to compete. So it's no difference.
How do you think the United States is going to do this week at the World Championships?
I think they're going to do well. Especially being in your backyard. You have your fans here. There's something about fighting in front of your people. They should do well.
Can you talk about the royalty that's here from the wrestling world compared to, a lot of people discount the World Championships as not being on the level of the Olympics. Some would argue that it's deeper and, more prestigious.
Yeah, no, the World Championships in wrestling. If you guys want to really see some true athletes, and I know the UFC or Bellator, you better make sure they're recruiting these guys at the World Championships. But you guys will see some wrestlers that could be the next, from maybe like half the bracket could be UFC champs. Like, it's ridiculous. You got Cubans, you got Russians, you got Iranians that know how to fight. That if you just show them how to throw a jab and a right hand and a kick and teach them how to defend a triangle and an arm bar, man, a lot of guys will be in trouble. Because you got the best athletes in the world that are coming in next week. And I'm actually more excited to see that than even watching these two fight.
You said a couple. Let's talk about it. You go 2 minutes going balls to the wall, just throwing wild punches. Was this the game plan coming out for Rivera?
Bom, você entra, sai na mão em 2 minutos. Era esse o plano contra o Rivera?
Então, com certeza é o que a gente vem treinando, né? A parte de trocação é o que eu mais gosto de fazer, na verdade. Então, graças a Deus, ele quis bater de frente comigo e deu no que deu.
It's what I like best. I like the exchanges, and he wanted to butt heads with me, and that's what happened.
He took a lot of big shots. Were you surprised that he stood up to a lot of those shots and kept coming for you?
Ele tomou vários socos pesados. Você ficou surpreso que ele não conseguiu sobreviver?
Com certeza, o Rivera é um cara muito duro, né? E não ia ser nocauteado ali fácil, né? Então, por isso que ele entrou em knockdown, né? Claro que eu esperava já por isso, por ele ser um cara muito duro.
He's a tough guy, and he took a lot of big shots, and I knew that he was going to be hard to put away.
when he knocked him down, when he went for the takedown and he went for the guillotine, did you feel like it was tight enough to get the submission at that point?
Quando ele foi para tentar te botar para baixo e você foi para a posição, você sentiu que estava justo bastante para você finalizar ele?
Com certeza, a hora que ele caiu ali de 4 apoio para tentar me derrubar, tava numa posição muito boa e quando eu peguei eu senti que estava pronto para finalizar.
Yeah, when he tried to take me down, I felt it was a good position, and it's a position I've been training a lot. So I felt that was an opportunity that presented himself.
Is there any way that he doesn't get a performance of the night for this, what he did tonight?
Tem algum jeito se você não ganha performance hoje pelo que você fez?
Espero que eu ganhe, né? É o que eu mais quero.
I hope I get it. That's what I want the most.
Does this result mean that you're staying at 135?
Esse resultado diz que você quer dizer que você vai ficar no 135?
Com certeza. O objetivo do Mosca era ser campeão, né? Não deu, mas no 35 continua sendo o mesmo objetivo, ser campeão. Então é nessa que eu vou permanecer.
Yeah, certainly. I wanted to be champ at flyweight. That didn't work out, so I'll be champ at this weight.
So you're not going to go down to 125. You're sticking at bantamweight?
Então você não vai para o peso mosca, você vai ficar nesse peso aí.
Com certeza.
Yeah.
How much better was your life this week, especially yesterday, given the fact that you didn't have to cut those extra 10 pounds? How much better did you feel?
Quanto você sentiu melhor não tendo que perder aquele peso extra?
Então, eu senti 100%, tanto não na luta, mas também no meu treinamento, né, no meu camp. Então, me senti muito bem e claro, não sofri tanto, mas fiquei 100% pro combate.
Yeah, I felt a lot better not only in my camp but the whole week, and I was 100% for the fight.
Are you at all worried that you'll be too small for this weight class when you start to climb the ranks?
Você fica preocupado que você é pequeno para essa divisão à medida que você vai subindo?
Então, na verdade, o pessoal se engana um pouco, né, por eu ser baixo, lutar com cara mais altos, mas eu me dou muito melhor lutando com um cara mais alto que da minha altura. Então, estou em casa.
People they commit a mistake thinking that taller guys are a problem for me, and I actually like taller guys.
Why?
Por quê?
Porque pelo meu estilo de luta, né, eu gosto de muito bater golpe na linha de cintura e eu consigo me encaixar mais pela altura, pelo adversário mais alto.
You know, I like body shots, and it's a little bit easier when the guy's taller.
And some might say that if you had made the weight, you would have already received a title shot. Do you think that you should be, in that discussion right now, 135, or do you expect them to force you to prove yourself once again in this weight class?
Alguns dizem que você deveria ser campeão do peso mosca. Com essa luta, você acha que agora você já faz jus a um title shot nessa divisão?
O que eu vim mostrar hoje, né, na minha estreia no 135 foi justamente isso, chegar ao title shot.
What I came to prove here at this weight was exactly that I can go for this title.
You want that next?
Você quer isso na próxima?
O que eu mais quero.
It's what I want the most.
But John, going back to 25, you basically...
¡Éítale, mi raza bonita! En septiembre, mes de la independencia, festéjalo en grande con nuestras ofertas. Paleta de res en bistec, $2.99 la libra. Trocitos de carne de puerco, $1.49 la libra. Le esperamos en La Bonita y felices fiestas de independencia. ¡Mua!